Alright, so when picking out a used shipping container, what you really want to look for is how straight everything is, whether there are big dents that are sticking out. Most of the time the dents are sticking outward, but in this case, one of the things you want to look at is how straight are the ribs from top to bottom. Here there's no space at all or anything in between here, and it's all fairly straight. The other thing you want to look for is how straight the ribs are going across and how uniform they are going across. And one of the things you'll see here as we raise this up, this whole thing here is out about 3/4 of an inch. It's been dented outward, so, and then it starts to straighten up again as we get up toward the top. So it'd be best to pick another container and get one that is straight so you don't have to deal with it. But with this, we want to make sure that there's on here how much it's off. If we push the panel tight here, it's off about 1.5 inches over there. So it is really critical to pick a straight container. So now, just to show you where that high spot is right here, this will be a more difficult container to finish than a new one. So what we're going to do here is you don't want to end up with the stud on this one if you're going to be carving out the foam. So we can carve out the foam in this area to accommodate for that, so it fits flatter against there. So it looks like we got to take out about 1/2 inch of foam to fit in between here. So this whole rib is bulging outward here about 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to see if I can take a sledgehammer to it and pound it back to make it easier to work with. The worst spot is right about here, so I'm going to start up there and see what happens. Now you can see I'm actually touching on this rib here, and we're pretty straight. And that is actually touching at the bottom here, it's touching at the top up there, and I'm out about, looks like now I'm out about 1/8 of an inch or so. So now the panel fits pretty nice to the wall. There's some little gaps, actually it's dented in a little where I pounded on it, but the adhesive will fill in that. It can easily fill in gaps up to 3/8 of an inch. And when you stack your panels together, the tongue and groove actually straightens out the whole side of something like this. What you can do is put the panels up and use the expanding spray foam adhesive on here, putting a big bead of expanding spray foam until you get to the spot where you're 3/8 inch or less. Then you could switch back to the PL Premium. The PL Premium is a lot stronger, has a lot stronger bond. The advantage of the foam is it dries real quick and it holds there, but you do have to brace the panel or lay like a 2x4 up against it. You don't want to push it in tight because you're going to get it in the wrong spot, then it's going to want to spring back. So let's see if we have any other dents we can look at. So again, when picking out a container, look at all sides of the container and see if there's any damage on it. Damage like this where it's dented in, easily picked up when you put a straight edge against it. That's about 3.5 inches. That's not going to be a good candidate. You're going to pass over that. You can also check it, straighten this way, and again you can see it's about 3.5 inches up, so it caused damage all along here. So looking at every dent and putting a straight edge by it is the way you determine if you got a good candidate.